What is up, you guys? My name is Carson Rouse and welcome back to Business Buzz, where we focus on business, entrepreneurship, and investing. Today's video topic: why the entrepreneurship community is so toxic. So over the past few years, I've noticed an immense growth and interest over the topics surrounding personal finance, the stock market, and of course entrepreneurship, all topics of which I discuss on my channel, on my very small channel. If you don't know, an entrepreneur is somebody who owns their own business. Usually they're the ones who created that business, and they take on great risks in their career path. In fact, many of the most wealthy people on the planet are entrepreneurs. Famous examples include Jeff Bezos, Mark Zuckerberg, and of course, Elon Musk. So yeah, it's no secret, entrepreneurship can be very, very rewarding. Great thing about entrepreneurship is you can build immense wealth, and there's really no limit to what you can make. You can always grow your business. It can also afford you freedoms that you really couldn't find when you have a 9-to-5 job. My favorite thing about entrepreneurship is that you can center your business around your passions and interests in life. So yeah, it's all very enticing, but that's not what I'm really here to talk about. What inspired this video truly was year after year, day after day, watching the personal finance community become more toxic.
Here in my garage, just bought this new Lamborghini here. It's fun to drive up here in the Hollywood Hills.
Right before my eyes. I'm getting tired of seeing this insane, hypocritical nonsense on the internet, so I thought I should talk about it. I'm just going to go through a few of the things I've noticed that I very much dislike about really the majority of the stock market, personal finance, and entrepreneurship community. Be sure to leave a like. Thank you very much. So first off, entrepreneurship is not for everyone. Yep, that's right. You're not a complete failure if entrepreneurship is too steep of a hill for you to climb, or if it's a hill you never want to even think of climbing. I mean, for starters, I think one of the most overlooked things about entrepreneurship is the amount of discipline that it requires. Right? It's hard enough waking up early in the morning to go to your 9-to-5 job, but that's actually a lot easier than entrepreneurship. Because you see, we know if we miss too much work, it's going to directly affect us. It directly affects our psyche and our mind, right? The boss is going to get angry at us, which leads to a risk of getting fired. It's a very simple, direct path. Whereas when you're an entrepreneur, there is absolutely nobody forcing you to wake up, get out of bed, and start working on your business. If you sleep in and you don't want to work on your business that day, guess what? There's not going to be a boss that's pointing his finger at you and getting angry. No, as much as we can't stand our bosses, they're good for that. When you're an entrepreneur, you have to be self-accountable, and that's very difficult. Now, of course, if you skip too many days and you don't work as hard on your business, of course, your business will take a hit. But again, it's not as direct of an impact on our mind. That's why full-time DoorDashers and other food delivery drivers impress me a lot. If you can actually make yourself work 8 hours a day with something that you're not on a set schedule for and you don't have to be there, it's not like you're going to get fired, that impresses me, and that shows that you have a lot of discipline. So if you are a DoorDash driver and you actually work full-time, that's impressive, and you might want to consider starting your own business. Of course, there's a lot to learn though. Not only does entrepreneurship require tons of discipline, but it also, of course, requires a lot of hard work and, to be quite honest, a lot of risk. And when there's a lot of risk, you're going to fail a lot. So you got to get used to failing, and you got to learn to accept it, and all of which is very difficult. That's why nearly 50% of new businesses fail within just the first 5 years of their inception. So let's stop hating on people who don't want to pursue entrepreneurship. And they're not lesser than because they don't wish to. I mean, our society to function needs regular employees, right? If you're starting a business, you're going to need employees, right? And people can still be very, very successful within those confines with both wealth and just being satisfied in their work life. Second thing I want to go over is that small luxury purchases are okay. I'll be honest, I've been a little bit guilty of this in the past. I've been the guy who's brought up statistics on how spending $6 on coffee every day is extremely stupid, and if you would have invested that money instead, it could have built you tons of wealth by the time you retire, and it's really a bad decision to make. And I will still say to this day, the facts are the facts. Cutting expensive, even small ones wherever you can, to put towards saving and investing is a really financially smart thing to do. But the fact is that money shaming just doesn't work on people. As long as you are responsible with your luxury purchases and have them factored into a good budget, there really is no big problem. Now, of course, I encourage you all to cut out things like fast food, coffee, and expensive clothes, but if you just can keep it to a minimum, and again, it's so important to have a budget where it's factored in there, then it's really not a huge deal. So when you create your budget, you should have a segment set out for just extraneous spending, aka fun spending, where you can spend $50 a month on just things that you don't need at all, like a Starbucks coffee or a Gucci belt, stuff like that that you just want because it brings you joy. And what's most frustrating about all of this is the hypocritical nature behind all of it, right? These entrepreneurs and gurus will tell you to not spend money on coffee, but they'll be bragging about their yachts and their expensive cars and other depreciating assets that are stupid purchases. Even if you attain massive wealth, you should still stick to your word and be smart with your money and not shame people for their little purchases. But again, I'm not saying to just go all out. Again, budget, budget, budget. I think we should all take a page out of Graham Stephan's book. He doesn't really attack people for spending money on coffee. Instead, he gives people alternatives, right? He has this whole 20-cent iced coffee where he doesn't shame people, really. He just gives people a better way to look at things. The last thing I want to talk about is the most unfortunate and the most prevalent in this community, and that is the get rich quick. I'm not going to lie to you guys, my laptop just died that I'm reading my script from, and I don't have my charger with me, so I'm just going to sort of ad-lib this last little section. So I'm not going to list any names, but you guys know what I'm talking about when I say get rich quick. You may have even seen an advertisement on this video relating to that sort of content. And usually these get rich quick guys involving personal finance, they'll never come out and directly say, hey, get rich quick, or use those words, but it's pretty obvious what they're saying. You guys, there is no single piece of information that's going to unlock great wealth for you. It's just not that simple. It takes time and pressure, just like in the Shawshank Redemption.
Geology is the study of pressure and time.
Everything takes time and pressure. Of course, people can get lucky and people can work really hard and they can gain a lot of wealth very quickly. But for the most part, it's not some simple recipe. The problem is that a lot of people are selling their courses online through exaggerated claims, and it gets people who are excited about making money, and it just steals their money from them, and it's just very wrong. Now, I'm not saying everybody who sells a course is out to just be money hungry and they're scamming people, but for a lot of YouTubers, that's just kind of how it is. See, I think when most YouTubers start out in this sort of segment, they do start it with the purpose of just educating the public about personal finance. But there's a big bag of money awaiting for them if they go down the dark side and sell their courses and sell their scammy stuff, right? And it's very enticing, but I just wish they would stay away from it more because it's turning this community more toxic. So guys, I hope that last segment wasn't too bad. Again, I'm pretty tired right now and the script is dead. My laptop died, so I just kind of had to ad-lib that. But thank you guys for putting up with it, and I appreciate you watching this video. If you agree with me, make sure to go down and comment and give it a like. Anyway, send this to some scammy YouTubers you know out there, and I'll see you guys in the next video.